Зараз будете на англійському язикі слышать, и по окончании я буду редактировать на других языков мира.
The Sami Day from 09 to the 11th of July 2024 is dedicated to the 75th anniversary of the creation of the strongest defense organization in the world. The North Atlantic Alliance NATO is the alliance where global events in the world were considered, and most of all the threat from the country of the Russian Federation and China and their cooperation were discussed in the world press against the independent country of Ukraine as partners, allies NATO and the European Union. I addressed the organizers of Summit with congratulations on the 75th anniversary to the members of the alliance, to the leadership of NATO, Mr. Jens Stoltenberg, to the US Minister of Defense, Mr. Louis Austin, and to Mr. Joe Biden, the leader of the liberation world at the hands of the most cruel and inhumane dictator Putin and his accomplices such as Trump and Viktor Orban. People who committed crimes against humanity and continue this path to achieve their dirty goals for personal interest and benefit. It's a great pity that we, representatives of the civilized world, sometimes count on something impossible and stop continuing our path. When we see that we have wasted a lot and starting over at night is a waste of strength and time. VV Putin deeply gained confidence in the internal affairs of Trumpo, Viktor Orban, Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un, with the help of whom the dictator Putin temporarily emerged from isolation and the bunker to freedom. But these named persons, dictators, as especially dangerous to the health of humanity, cannot be left unchecked in freedom, from my point of view, as an experienced member of an international organization for the protection of human rights with experience since 2006. And my last certificate number as an international human rights activist was registered with the Ministry of Justice of Ukraine on June 26, 2017 under numbers 3212, MPTLUS. IGFM, organization of which has the status of economic and social in the UN councils and has consultative status in the councils of Europe and is a member of the coordinating committee of the non-state organization in the councils of Europe. In the warehouse, MPTL, IGFM, exit, 21 national section, 5 national groups, 4 branches, 5 regional committees in Europe, Asia, America and Africa. I became a member of this organization when Putin, in peacetime, gave the task to Orban to give the military attaché of Afghanistan to Ukraine to Germany from hand to hand with the help of Putin's mafia hacker, a nationalist anti-Semitic organization from the Balkans, from Kosovo and Serbia, to put a slash on him from Germany to Afghanistan. Like this how the family of diplomat Mohammed Sabir Amir lived in Germany. Putin's agents in the most guarded place in the center of Kabul at the Intercontinental Hotel strangled him in his room or possibly poisoned him with chemicals just as they did to me on June 21, 2024 in Germany, in Hessen, in Bruchkobel at Winderker Vague 15 IND 63486 on assignment. Putin shines with Trumpo on the recommendation of Viktor Orban. These same criminal hackers from Kosovo released a chemical substance into the bathtub through a pipeline and I was instantly paralyzed completely in my right ear, and after that they released the African citizen from work as a dependent and he was given a task around the clock in the basement of the house behind me: make sure that I do not contact law enforcement agencies or massage services. But he is a citizen of Africa, weak, naive and capable of work and disalienated, and out of necessity, with no way out, he could not refuse their demands. Like worthy people in Hessen in the immigration, social and utility services, and no one could refuse their pressure, and they have been for 19 years, does not obey the authorities, and, like the Tabors from the Balkans, they ensured that they were immune from harm in all spheres of European society. Please note, on July 11, 2024, I am in the area at 5 o'clock in one of the Mosin in the city of Hanau. A citizen of Afghanistan, tall, thin and bearded, goes into a store and speaks German and gives €10 to the sellers to top up his phone account and come up to me to say hello and say you can get me a job. I told him that your documents were in order and he said, yes, and he said that he had been in Germany for a long time. I told him the address of the store. But he said my car is on the street and we can go to this store. I was sitting in his car, but he picked me up where, on the recommendation of Orban. The Putin mafia hacker from Kosovo agreed to quickly help and ask. There was a police car and they specially closed the road and waited for this young Afghan to persuade me to offer drugs. Narcotica lied in boxes and I told him rocks that you are not a decent person. You also offer this remedy to your father and you can calm yourself from your nerves without narcotic substances and it will become a habit. But the leader of the Putin mafia wanted to quickly get help from the police. He was silent and said that I will send you home. But I'm already following his every step. A young girl, possibly Russian, called him and in what language he said that the task was without results. She obviously told him that he shouldn't be sent home and I'm standing behind you. He walked with me and the girl from the back of the car came and got into the car and drove away and I managed to have a license plate BMW, MTK, N, 2701 black Mercedes-Benz. This is already the second time in the month of July when on July 2nd in Bruchkobel at the trolley bus stop in Stadthaus, I was waiting at the passenger bus stop and a man was parking a car on the sidewalks in a prohibited place next to me. But a woman from Afghanistan was in every possible way in touch with the drivers of the car and she was behind. I was followed when I went to the bank. But noticed that she was waiting for me at the stop to call the driver of the car he was parking at the stop. But the residents noticed this and the traffic police arrived and picked her up and took her away. I hope that this woman will say and maybe she will be connected with the death of a police officer through Putin's hacker from Kosovo on Winderka Vague 15. Today I appeal to the security guard of the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger to convey this tragic event to all the leadership of the Western world. With the help of Orban and his 24/7 communication with Putin. Trump and Putin's hacker mafia from Kosovo in Bruchkobel and Hanau. A path or another could have happened and it would have been too late. lexarkarina@gmail.com, password karinalexar2000@gmail.com, telephone 01768985261. Telephone +49 1633897672. Telephone 01631131479.
И слышали то, что было на английском языке, и вы должны обязательно, чтобы была собрана вся компания журналистская мира, Голос Америки, BBC Лондона, Афганистан, Иран International. И особенно, если у вас появится такая возможность, свяжитесь, пожалуйста, от меня ничего не получится. Они все здесь мне взяли в изоляции, поставили. И надо, чтобы Мирослава Гангадзе также это доложила президенту Украины, вы со своей стороны также. президентом Байдена, премьер-министра Великобритании и семья короля Бельгии, великие люди, премьер-министра и многих других президентов, премьер-министр Франция Эммануэля Макрона и премьер-министр Германии Олафа Шольца, господина президента Польши, уважаемый Дуда, и многих других, чтобы они посодействовали, что мы как быстрее посадили Орбана и Трампа, чтобы мир успокоился. А так будет все оплачено, будет все преступно сделано, и мир никогда не будет спокойно жить. Будьте счастливы. Хадаф Абдул-Джалил, но вы ко мне звонить не можете. Если я 20, телефон вам отдам. Международная преступная банда, мафия Путина с Косово и Сербия, они полностью информационные технологии захватили в Евросоюз. Также они под давлением берут достойных людей в иммиграционные службы, социальные и коммунальные службы. И многих других, в том числе почтовые перевозки. Есть много станций, которые они этим воспользуются, чтобы уничтожить своих противников. Там, где я нахожусь, уже я потерял правый уши, который ходил просто в ванну 21 числа. И ждала меня женщина с Албании, которая она с Балкана. Она получила двое медики с Армении. Они химические средства получили напрямую от Путина, которые это надо уже разобраться, как поступает контрабандом до Европы. Периодически от самого Путина огромное количество смертельных химических веществ, которые в статьях Конвенции ООН они запрещены я имею в виду применение на человеческих органах. Но для них это давно существует. Начали его с Украины, заканчивать его до Евросоюз, Америка, Европа, Израиль, Канада, Великобритания. Будьте счастливы, мы с вами, Хадаф Абдул-Джалил рядом. Информационная команда Карина Лехсар всегда к вашим услугам. Мы никому не дадим. Последние агентуры Путина мы из Европы, или они самостоятельно, добровольно покинут, или мы им заставим это делать. Всего хорошего.